These blue umbrellas from the Hawaii fires are circulating the internet of how they weren't affected by the flames when things around them was burnt. And this video from Laser versus showing different colors reactions and how blue isn't affected.
Speak to a lot of folks that know what's going on in these fire scenarios. So,
what do you think is going on in these fire scenarios when firefighters or captains are questioning things just the same as you are?
Yeah, when they get out and question them, not many of them I think will speak up.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid of retribution somehow, either getting fired or something worse. Many of the top fire people know exactly what's going on. When you don't see the forest burn, but yet houses are, and some of these materials don't burn, you have to ask your question, what is going on here? And many
do I speak up or do I not say anything at all?
Said, we've never seen fires like this, or the fires were so hot we couldn't even get close to them to put them out. And they were also very hard to put out. And so over the years, I've come to different conclusions. I believe most of these fires are microwave based. They're not normal wood fires that we know of. And I'll get into that later here.
Okay, thank you.
Many materials will not burn. And I have a saying I made up. All the materials that didn't burn should have, and all the materials that did burn shouldn't have.
Oh, wow.
That's true.
And I want to start off. This is in Maui now. I've taken some of the pictures off the internet here. So none of these Maui pictures are mine. And I'm going to expand on every one of these pictures. And this is the same stuff exactly that I've seen in California. No different. All the same fire footprints. Things that don't make sense. Here, a home's on fire and nothing else. And I believe that's because of all the metals, whether they're ferrous or non-ferrous, that are in a house. These things get hit, they burn, and it's rare to see a tree burn or any plant unless it's in very close proximity to the house. And I mean 10 or 15 feet. So this is common now. And here you have, it looks like a grove of eucalyptus trees. I'm not positive on the species. The whole left, they didn't burn. Meanwhile, the house is just gone. The cars, they all look like this. They'll be dented up. The windows will be melted out. Now the auto glass melts approximately at 2,500 degrees.
Whoa.
Forest fires don't get that hot.
It's like my third time here.
1,400.
Yeah, I was just going to say 1,400. Wow, and also the wheels. The wheels are melted.
Yeah, I'm getting to
all the way.
Unless you're adding different accelerants or really burning some hot wood, you're not getting above those temperatures. Perhaps here and there you would, but it would not melt these windows. You notice the doorknobs are always gone. The rims, they're an alloy or an aluminum. They melt out at 1,221 degrees. That doesn't happen. Your fires on the ground that are in the grass, if they're a couple inches off the ground, they're only 300 degrees. The two fire captains educated me on that. They never see rims melted out in a combined 60 years of service. Sometimes you get to a car late in the day because they were busy and the car fire was already out. The rims still didn't melt out. Yet, I've seen a good between 600 and 800 vehicles. If the rims are aluminum or alloys, they're always.
So we can all say it's not
like this one, or in flowing aluminum puddles that flow away like a river away from the vehicle. Windows and wings always gone unless they're metal wings. Let's see. So look at your organic matter. What kind of forest fire forgot all the trees?
And you said something about the eucalyptus before we started.
Yeah, eucalyptus is one of the most flammable or combustible leaves I know of. Here in the States, California, we have many species. And the blue gum is the one I see the most. I can pull the leaves off the tree, green, take a cigarette lighter, and light them on fire. Every time. And they burn pretty quick. If you put them in a small campfire, you better back up. These things, the oils in them are very flammable. And also your California bay tree, which is in your laurel family, along with camphor trees and avocado trees and many others. California bay tree has a ton of oils. When I'm camping in the Bay Area, these are different parks, and I can hardly see my campsite. I want to find my way back to my tent. I grab some of those leaves, put them in my little campfire. Instantly, I've got big flames everywhere. In 7 years now, I've not seen one leaf of either species burn. Any eucalyptus species and any of the California bay leaves, even when the leaves are hanging down on the ground where the fire is, they're not igniting.
Oh my gosh! So I'm curious about that because you said microwave waves to create fire create such a hot fire. That's so interesting of why they wouldn't burn, but that's a whole different topic. But go ahead and keep going.
All I can say is they don't recognize the organics, even though they're super hot. They seem to be much hotter than our regular wood fires, but for whatever reason, they're not recognizing organics. They turn everything brown. They suck the water out of it like it's in a microwave oven in your kitchen, leave them brown, a light shade of green, but it will not ignite them unless they're in close proximity to metals. Or
you're talking about the fire. The fire doesn't recognize the eucalyptus organism. Oh my gosh, the organics of that organism. Wow.
It has to be in close proximity to your metals, whether they're ferrous or non-ferrous, like aluminum, or creeks and water. And I heard along the shore here, the water was on fire. And they made up a lame excuse that there's oil and diesel and all that. No, the water itself was on fire. And I haven't seen pictures of it, but I've already heard that.
I have seen pictures of the water.
Creek beds around here in California, I've noticed all the creek or water-loving trees have burned from the inside out.
Yes.
Cooked like in a microwave. And these are willows, cottonwoods, alder, birch, maple, madrone, and many others that really want to be close to a creek. Not one leaf will be burned on them, even when the leaves are on the ground, but they'll cook from the inside out where the highest water amount of holding capacity would be. Pines and more flammable trees are doing the same, but at a slower rate, even though the sap in many pines is more combustible than the water lovers by far. They're kind of last to burn. The needles will be brown everywhere, but they're not burned up. Wrong picture there. Okay, there it is. Here you look at all the houses. They're white ash. Where's the black? Where's the carbon? It's rare I see black. So you're thinking intense heat. Well, why are all the trees still there? They're a little thin.
Right.
Cook the
Yeah.
I'm sure every one of them's dead. Perhaps some of the palm trees will come back. A palm tree is easy to light on fire. We've had a few car fires around.
Which y'all can see like
residential.
right here in this area.
They burn up in a second. They're like
Nothing.
thin, with a little bit of dead fronds on them. They'll burn in seconds. Yet I look at them, they're kind of super wilted. They turn black, which I see that often. There's a black color to all these dead trees. Leaves are black like a slow cooked marshmallow on your fire. It's kind of turning brown and dark black, and if it doesn't ignite, these leaves just kind of wilt and turn dark colors. Another anomaly. They should all have been gone. With this kind of heat, everything should have been gone. Should have been stumps of trees. That didn't happen.
And it should be black, not white.
That's right. Out of these 38 aftermaths,
That's turned out
30
ash, all of
I deem were unnatural fires. Every house I've seen burn up, all of them have been burned to the ground, white ash. I have not.
And if y'all want to go check this channel out, it's Blossom Inner Wellness. Y'all want to check that video out if you haven't seen it.
Much of any black anywhere. Once in a while, a 4x4 or something that's black, but they're all white ash, leaving walls, brickwork, stone, and metals. Everything else is completely gone.
Yeah, the toilet, the fridge, the stove, which I've seen, houses in wildfire, and the stove is there. It doesn't go to ash.
That's right. That didn't come out either. It's the giant banyan tree I've heard about.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Hopefully I've got another tree. Okay. Here you have a fire all the way around it. Even the boats were on fire. Yet the banyan tree is dead. It looks like, but it didn't burn up. I've got a picture this here. After the fire, I see leaves everywhere and all the aerial roots coming down. They look kind of sagging and black, not necessarily.
But it didn't burn all the way down like the house and the boats and stuff.
Left. There's a splint. I think there's lights on it. It was so hot I forgot to burn the wood. Dry wood. Dead trees I've noticed that are dead before the fires, they're not burning. There's no moisture in them. And they should have burned.
Oh my gosh.
So here's your wood 4x4. Didn't burn at all. It's doubtful this tree is going to grow back. I hope it does. I know there's an arborist over there looking at it. But if it's cooked from the inside out, it will not regenerate. And this is a ficus. You cut a ficus down, it grows back. Any fig tree, this is the way they're constructed. They're weeds. All the ficus are weeds. And here with your great soils and rainfall, it should sprout right back. But and I'm hoping it does. But I fear it probably won't. Yeah, here's a Jeep, I guess. Fires don't do this. The whole hood, it got so hot, the metal hood melted out. That's pushing 2,750 degrees. The rims have melted out in the street. What kept the aluminum melting 5 feet from the Jeep? There's no fire, there's no flames on the asphalt, yet it keeps flowing. They're completely gutted. Windows, wheels. This is common. Every fire aftermath I've gone through. I want to say this is impossible, but the two fire captains I know of, they say they've never seen vehicles in their whole career like this. Windows that are never melted, they might break. They don't even sag. They break or shatter or fall out, but they don't melt at 2,500 degrees and up. They start to melt at 25, but to get them to really flow and fall down, you're going to add another 100 degrees or more. So what to do that? You don't have enough fuel in this Jeep. And I don't mean gasoline. I mean the fuels, the plastics, the seats, the cushions. All that isn't enough to get this kind of burn. And they always say that. There's just no way this could happen. Not every single car I've seen in 7 years. No exceptions. That's the thing. No exceptions. If it happened to one, okay, that's an anomaly. But every single vehicle. Here you go with the eucalyptus and there's some pine.
Oh, the trees.
House is missing, or a metal shop, whatever it is. I see dead trees, but a firestorm would have left sticks. If you know leaves on it, that's your fire. The leaves, like in California.
He even has a tree right here, and the leaves are still on.
What is going on? I just got these today. Here's some nice trees here. They're probably dead. There's your cars, same old scenario. It's the same wherever I go.
So I have a question about the microwave energy.
Yep.
Have you looked into, like, I know that we've had direct energy weapons. Tesla founded the direct energy beam actually in the 1930s, right before he died when he was 80 years old. And we actually have a direct energy weapons act, and I think it was the act of 1976, I think it was. And there was actually a direct energy weapons, for lack of a better word, lab facility on Maui, which there's only 2 in the United States. One is in Nevada and one is in Maui. Have you researched the microwave energy?
Not entirely. I've read stuff, I've watched videos. Of course, they've got the trillion-watt lasers, things like that. They always act like we don't have that technology yet, but we're working on it. Well, they're like 30, 40 years ahead of us, and they're just lying. Of course they've got it. This stuff, and this isn't happening.
They ain't too deep in that stuff.
Or a plane passing over. We actually think, which sounds very far-fetched, we think they're coming from satellites. Because it's concentrated on an area for hours. Planes fly back and forth, and you wouldn't be able to hit at these angles. We don't think little drones are doing it. But I'm not ruling out any possibility. Matt, John, and I actually figured they're coming from satellites. When I was in my 20s, we had a president that was on national TV. He tells the world we're developing our Star Wars defense system. It's back in the 80s, the worst president in U.S. history. He said that we all laughed. We're not laughing anymore. They've been working on this for a long time. Just like 9/11, the buildings didn't burn up and fall down. They disintegrated in midair. A technology so advanced we can't even comprehend it. And this is the same or very similar technology. The cars look the same as that day on 9/11. No different. And like I said, every vehicle I've seen in 7 years looks like this. No exceptions.
Wow. What did the fire chiefs, the fire captains, what did they say about the microwave energy? Did they say anything else about?
A lot over the years. I guess I've known them both for 5 years. And they did a lot of research. I've taken both of them to fire aftermaths, and also the great Deborah Travaris. She happens to be a friend now, and I've taken her to analyze fire aftermath. Mostly I do the education on the plant side of it, and even the windows and metals. I just got on the computer, did my own research to have those numbers. But they saw it. The 2 firemen saw it, and they have a lot to say about all these houses and cars, and also what's going on shortly after the fire's out. Immediately, the big corporations jump in there, kind of a disaster capitalism effect, if you will. They repair the roads right away. They put in brand new telephone poles as fast as they can. They dig up the road and put in new culvert pipes that go under the road because they're metal. And I've got pictures of that in another review. And they're replacing them with plastic pipes under the road. Now, normal forest fires wouldn't affect a metal pipe 3 to 6 or 10 feet underground, but maybe with these weapons, they do. And they don't want the road to collapse. So 4 or 5 different aftermaths, I've been looking for those. And sure enough, where the fire crossed the road, they pulled every pipe out, no matter what depth, and replaced them with either plastic or poured a cement one, but never put the metal back. And that's right here at Big Basin State Park, where all the redwoods were in California, where they closed the park for 2 years, and they replaced these pipes. So a lot stood out, and Mike and John have given me Matt and John have given me a lot of ideas when I go out in the field. And I call them a lot, tell them what I found. A good little group of us, the 3 of us working together. A wealth of information those 2 fire captains have. They know the track record of what cars look like and what they don't look like. 60 years combined service, fire captains. So here's this photo, and here's your palm trees.
I know, that's just.
Why didn't all of these burn off in a microsecond? Show you what a blunt cigarette lighter can do to a dead frog.
And if y'all know some of these trees, y'all know y'all can crumble them up. Y'all know they flammable. But
These buildings were burning for hours. The leaves
all back here.
Burn.
All back here.
In the back.
Yeah, we have fires here. Like we'll have a bonfire at my place, and we have palm fronds that we throw in, and it's just like whoosh.
Yeah, there's no exception.
Yeah.
If some of these are blurry, I'm just borrowing these from the internet. To me, this was a kill city. My own term. They weren't letting people out of the city. They were making you stay there. That's your police department. The firemen didn't show up, or very few did. They turned the cell phones off right here for the town.
Yeah.
They also turned the water off in the town. This was like 6 months or a year before. And all these larger entities are told, or in on it to some degree. They're told what to do. Even your people in office.
Absolutely.
Large of the island. If there's a good guy, they're not at their levels. All these people have a lot of evil.
Yeah, the governor actually put out an emergency proclamation with no emergency 3 weeks before the fire, and he suspended 7 laws that affect housing and land development. And now, yesterday, they were just in Oahu, so they weren't even on Maui, and they had a meeting with, it looks like 20 to 25 people of unelected officials. The only elected official was the governor, and this is a meeting they were talking about Maui, and with the no sunshine law, which means people cannot bring testimony and they can't testify and say what they want. It's atrocious what they're doing.
Yeah, they make up the rules as they go along. This is nothing more than the billionaires club getting together, orchestrating destruction of the common people wherever they are. If they want something, they've got a weapon now that's so unimaginable. They can do whatever they want. They control every news outlet. And Maui, you have the largest military base of the Hawaiian Islands. I don't know if that's true.
Yes.
So there's no stopping them as far as anything, in that area. They tell the military, any branch, they tell them exactly what to do. And this is worldwide. And your military personnel are just used to saying, yes, sir, following orders no matter what. They have a heart and some empathy, think for themselves. So it's just really hard to stop this. I know the whole Hawaiian people are really mad and they want to do something. I really don't know where to start. Get it out to the whole world, show all the information, show anomalies like I do that should have never happened, and talk about the whole infrastructure being shut down. And all the kids, of course.
And I'm possibly going to be posting this on Rumble as well.
There's so many categories. We hold all the evidence. That's the hard part. They won't let us get on the media, on TV, and show stuff like this and talk about it. I could never get on the TV, any of the 6 media giants in America. No. The truth will never get out unless we get it out like this with our cell phones, phone calls, little meetings all over the planet, and educate everybody. That's the only way we're going to get to them. It's a tough call.
And I'm wondering. Oh, go ahead.
More of the same. This rim is chunked out. Some will be aluminum flowing at the back. Some of the fronts will just break off. And I don't have a reasoning why they come out like that. Or perhaps that's the alloy.